Good evening and welcome to the Hillsborough County Board of County Commissioners Redistricting public hearing on Monday, November 8th. This is the first of two public hearings. We're called to order and we will do I guess we have to do a roll call for when Commissioner White joins the meeting. And Commissioner White did send this. He says he will be joining this evening's public hearing on redistricting via phone and will be dialing in late due to an unforeseen conflict. So please read the record. Please read the reason for my delay into the record. So we have 6 commissioners. I guess we could do a roll call.
Good evening, commissioners. Kemp?
Here.
Helen?
Here.
Hagan?
Here.
Farris?
Here.
Overman?
Here.
Smith?
Here.
White? Thank you. You have a quorum.
Thank you. And so when we hear, we can bring Commissioner White into the meeting. And we'll start with the opening remarks by Attorney Mary Helen Farris, Deputy County Attorney. Hey.
Good evening, Commissioners. Mary Helen Farris for the record. This is the first of 2 advertised public hearings. We took the 3 maps the board chose to advertise. Those have been duly advertised, and for the record, the proof of publication has been sent to the clerk's office for inclusion in the minutes. The second public hearing will be on November 16th. It's anticipated at that hearing you will adopt the final map. So tonight is primarily for public comment. The board can have discussion and can take some actions if they choose to. That's all I have right now.
Thank you. Okay, and with that we will move to public comment. The board welcomes comments from citizens about the BOCC redistricting public hearing. Your opinions are valued in terms of providing input to the board members. However, it is requested at the same time when you address the board that comments are not directed personally against a commissioner or staff member, but rather directed at the issues. This provides a mutual respect between the board members and the public. Anyone who wishes to speak virtually or in person during a meeting may do so by completing the online public comment form found at hcflgov.net/speakup. The form is open for public sign up 48 hours prior to the start of a meeting. An option is available if you notify whether comments will be provided virtually or in person during the meeting. Additionally, in-person speakers will be able to sign up on site via kiosk or smartphone the day of the meeting. For participants who wish to speak virtually, who have completed the online form, an audio call-in number will be provided for you after the form is received by the county. All speakers will be required to provide their name, email address, and telephone number on the online form. This information is being requested to facilitate the public comment process. Sign-ups for both virtual and in-person public meeting opportunities for public meetings and public comments close at 6 p.m. on the day of the meeting. The chair will call on the speakers by name in order in which the requests to speak have been received. Prioritization is on a first-come, first-served basis. The boardroom and the multipurpose room are designated for speakers only. Those who come to County Center to watch the meeting and not speak will be accommodated in the lobby area. Only the first 12 in-person signups will be allowed in the boardroom for public comment. Anyone speaking in the boardroom must wear a mask. The multipurpose room will be available for those residents who signed up to speak after the first 12 have been registered, or for those who cannot wear a mask due to medical conditions. Speakers are asked to leave the boardroom or multipurpose room after sharing their comments with the board. All virtual speakers will be muted upon joining the meeting and will be unmuted after being recognized by the chair by name. Up to 3 minutes are allowed for each speaker. And with that, we'll start with our list. The first speaker we have virtually, Tawanda Bradley.
Hi, this is Tawanda Bradley. Thank you all for allowing me to speak to the commissioners this evening. I am a product of Farris Village, and although I don't live there currently today, my heart is there. I am the first vice of Farris Village Civic Council. My church of long time from birth. I'm still there, and I'm there, and my family home is there. I speak today because of the redistricting that's been proposed to us. We saw for the very first time in a council meeting, a community meeting last week, a couple of weeks ago. I take that back. And thank you, Commissioner Myers, and your team for bringing everything to us so we can better understand what's going on in the village. We have great concerns. And the concerns is because just a few weeks back, I had the opportunity to speak with the organization, Community Resolution Summit. And my task there was to talk about preserving Black legacy neighborhoods. And so I did some research so that I could speak on behalf of Park Village. There's when I looked at the census for 2010. And in 2010, we had 5,392 residents. At least that's what was reported. And then I kept doing my research, and I realized in 2020 we had increased 85.83%, which was very confusing in our numbers because the village is only so large. And then that's when I realized we had been rezoned, and we were impacted by the rezoning, which I feel, and I would love to understand more, I feel that that's impacting us again right now with the redistricting. Right now, Farrisville is sitting in a hub of a lot of things that is happening, and it is our desire to remain in District 3 and the footprint that is currently with District 3. We looked at all the maps that were presented to us a few weeks back, and this map F is our desire, at least I can speak for Twanda, there's the desire to remain there, excuse the train, forgive me, because I'm adding wake for one of Progress Village, longtime person, emeritus of Progress Village City Council, Mr. Hillary Kemp. It is our desire, being there for 61 years, the village has been, and me being there 59 years, that we remain intact with the district that we are in and the footprint that is best for us right now, and that would be map 4. So I speak to all the commissioners and asking you to please support map F. Thank you.
Thank you. Noreen Dollard, virtual.
Yes. Thank you, Commissioner Kemp. I'm Noreen Dollard. I'm the chair of the Redistricting Action Committee of the Hillsborough County League of Women Voters. And I'm asking you tonight, I'm here tonight to remind the Commission of the Fair District principles that we voted for our state. And I just wanted to remind you of those principles, that districts should be equitable and fair. They should, to the greatest extent possible, represent the same number of people, that they not unfairly benefit one party or a particular incumbent, and that equal opportunity is afforded to racial and language minorities, that they are able to participate in this process and that they are able to elect representatives of their choice, that the districts be contiguous, that they be compact and conform to geographical elements that exist, such as municipal lines and waterways and so on. And so I'm hoping that you will keep these in mind during your discussion. There seem to be two areas in looking at the 3 proposed maps that are very differently represented and bear closer examination. Apollo Beach should probably more appropriately be kept with fast-growing South County communities, and in further north, keeping Temple Terrace with other communities with similar demographics and seems sensible. So we are, the league is closely watching this, and our board will be meeting tomorrow to consider whether which of these maps to endorse after considering the deliberations this evening. Thank you very much for hearing my comments.
Thank you. Bryce Bowden.
Bryce, can you hear us?
Yes.
Go ahead, Bryce.
Oh, I'm sorry, you were
Bryce Bowden,
asking.
go ahead with your comment. Bryce Bowden's on the line, but she doesn't seem to be responding.
Okay, let's move on, and then we can go back to him if we can get a good connection or he can hear us. Kelly Carling.
Hi, this is Kelly. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm just calling to express my support of map F, as in Frank. It seems to be the Farris have an equitable distribution and have the most sensible lines with regard to everything in consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. Meredith Abel.
Good evening, Honorable Commissioners. My name is Meredith Abel, and I serve on Temple Terrace City Council. First, I'd like to thank you for the conscientiousness you've put into developing these maps and for being responsive to the varied needs of many different stakeholders in the county. I've spent a lot of time myself reviewing the maps and doing my part to inform my constituents about the nuances of the maps that have been developed as they relate to Temple Terrace. I've also submitted comments on the maps and have reached out to several of you personally. Overwhelmingly, the residents of Temple Terrace support a map that puts the entirety of Temple Terrace in District 2 because we strive to be one unified city. This sentiment was expressed to you all in a letter from Mayor Ra and supported by all of City Council, expressing a preference for map G, but also requesting a modification to include the part of Temple Terrace to the west of 56th Street in District 2 along with the rest of the city, which aligns with the fair districting objective of having boundaries that follow city, county, and geographic lines. However, we understand that there are many other considerations at play in the creation of these maps that sometimes supersede each other, which include having equal populations, compactness, preserving minority access districts, and keeping communities of commonality together and contiguousness. The way the maps are drawn now, as they pertain to Temple Terrace, Map E and Map G are equivalent and are both good. They both include most of Temple Terrace in District 2, the exception being the census blocks immediately to the west of 56th Street, which are drawn in District 3. If at this point the Commission seeks to hear a preference rather than a request for modification of the map, my personal preference, speaking not on behalf of Temple Terrace City Council but for myself, is for Map E, because it includes USF in District 2 along with Temple Terrace, which is significant due to the close ties many residents have with the university, as well as our close proximity and shared interests. Furthermore, Map E has the most compact district and fewest community divisions countywide. It is for these reasons that as far as Temple Terrace is concerned, Map E is the best choice and Map G is a close second. Thank you again for the opportunity to share my comments.
Thank you for being part of the meeting, Councilwoman Abel. And next, there's Lisa Schaefer. It's virtual.
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can. Go ahead, Ms. Schaefer.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, I also wanted to thank you for opening up this time so that the public here can provide our recommendations and our feedback. And I am just part of the community over by Brandon. And when looking at the map to our population, it does look like map F seems to be the Farris. That's F as in Frank. And we think that that looks to be the best distributed. And I'm just thinking personally that that looks to be the most sensible lines. And I appreciate the time to come on here and provide that feedback.
Thank you. Tina Terracciano.
Madam Chair, Tina has not called in.
Okay. Are we able to get Bryce Bowden yet?
Bryce, can you hear us? Are you on the line? Bryce doesn't seem to be responding.
Thank you. Gerald White, in person.
Good evening, Commissioners. Gerald White, my first citizen appearance before the Board of County Commissioners, about, 18 months or so. Glad to be here to support map F. I want it to be clear. I got this mask on, Foxtrot. F is my choice. F is the choice of the African American people. F is the choice of the public engagement opportunities that I've been to. F is what is right. F is what is fair. F is what is equal. F is what is just. And F is what I want this Board of County Commissioners to execute and put in place, Foxtrot. The African American people have struggled long and hard to have a district, and we want to keep it. We want to be able to elect and continue to elect one of our choice. We don't have Section 5 pre-clearance to the extent that we had in the past, but we do and know how to seek and will seek justice if we're not treated fairly in this redistricting process. The black people, the African American citizens of Hillsborough County, strongly support F. Gerald White, I've served on 4 charter review boards. I've served 8 years on the Citizen Advisory Committee to the commissioners, and all of those years, this board has always been fair to all of the citizens in Hillsborough County. I'm just asking, as one citizen, that you continue your streak of professionalism, fairness, and equal opportunity to all. And that is F. F, my little flag here. And I don't know what Commissioner White is, but when you see him, tell him Gerald White had this little banner up and want him to vote for F. Hunt him down. This is one of the most important process in democracy, and one of the commissioners is missing. When you see Commissioner White, tell him that Gerald White wants F. The African American people want F. God bless. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity to speak before the board behind this mask. Thank you very much. Good to see you, Commissioner Hagan.
Thank you. Elizabeth Belcher, virtual.
Yes, hello.
Hello. Yes, we can hear you.
All right. I just want to say that I support either map E or G. I'm tired of the Hillsborough County being gerrymandered to favor one commissioner, one party over another. Again, I support either E or G. Thank you.
Thank you. Thomas Scott, virtually.
Good evening, Commissioner, Madam Chair, and to all the commissioners. My name is Thomas Scott. I'm a former county commissioner. I served 10 years on the Board of County Commission, and I'm calling to represent the Tampa Bay Coalition of Clergy, which consists of about 38 African-American churches here in Hillsborough County, and I'm calling to support Commissioner William Myers' map F. Historically, even when I was on the board, there were always strong consideration given first to District 3 to make sure it did not regress in terms of its population and also not be divided and split up. Some of these maps, you're splitting Progress Village, you're splitting Temple Terrace, you're splitting Suitcase City up in that area. And so I want to strongly recommend that you support, all the commissioners support map F, which is Commissioner Myers' map drawn by her. Also, when I was on the board, I also got a call from the Department of Justice regarding the redrawing of the maps. So I don't know whether Commissioner Myers got a call or not, but when I was there, they did call and have a long conversation with me regarding redistricting. And so I would strongly recommend and suggest to all of you that you support map F. Map F really is by far the fairest and the best map for Hillsborough County. And so I want to again make it known that the Tampa Bay Coalition of Clergy, some 38 churches consisting that's about 50,000 people, support map F and the map drawn by Commissioner Meyer. Thank you very kindly, and I look forward to speaking to you again on the 16th. Thank you.
Thank you. In person, Yvette Lewis.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Yvette Lewis, and I am the president of the Hillsborough County branch in AACP. Redistricting is important to the African American community. We don't need any gerrymandering. Please keep the communities compact and together. Population is important, however, the voting age really matters. The NAACP is asking that all commissioners please consider the voices of the African American community when you're selecting these maps. Please keep your own personal thoughts aside. And also, just to echo what Reverend Scott said, Bishop Scott just said, the Department of Justice will call me, and I have to answer for everything that you do. Let's be on the right side of the law for one time when it comes to African American in Hillsborough County. Because I promise you, every last one of you, elections will have consequences. Thank you.
Thank you. Connie Burton.
Good evening, Connie Burton. In the activist world, there's a little chant that most people say, like, what do democracy look like? And it looks like when people have an opportunity for full participation. Inside of our communities, we are watching a lot of things that is occurring, and within a 10-year slice, a lot of more positive things could have happened, but in spite of that, we are seeing serious gentrification. The thought of losing representation is real. It's very real. Our voices are being streamlined, and our communities are neglected. The map that has been presented to our community thus far that will give us a slightest bit of hope and refueling democracy back in our community and full participation is map F. We ask that this board have a full understanding of when we are called upon to vote for several people and a lot of promises are made and yet go undeliverable. We're asking you at this time to trust our representative. Trust our representative that has listened to the voice and concerns of her constituents, and map F will be the best anchor for our community moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you. And with that, that's everyone I have that has signed in, unless Bryce Bowden is now available. I don't know.
Madam Chair, Bryce Bowden has disconnected from the call.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we will now move on to the next consideration of the maps presented by Deputy County Attorney Mary Helen Farris and Dan Hardy of our GIS department.
If the commission wants, we can ask Dan Hardy to represent the maps. I know you've already seen them all, so that's really up to the board if you want another presentation. If not, you can just move to board discussion.
I think I just would like to make sure that they're for the public record and for the public, that that was not a very cumbersome presentations. In fact, it was very fast. So I think it would be good to do.
Okay, if we could get Dan to present the 3 maps.
Good evening, Commissioners. Dan Hardy, Enterprise GIS Manager with Hillsborough County. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, we can. I can.
Okay. So we'll start with the 3 remaining maps. We will start with map E. Excuse me, I'm sorry. There, is that a little more clear? Okay. Map E has a 39%, I'm sorry, Map E has a 39% Black population concentration in District 3, and it has a 7.7% population variance between the districts. Map F has a 38.7% Black population concentration in District 3 and a 9.3% population variance. And map G has a 39% Black concentration in District 3 and a I'm sorry, I can't see that quite on my screen, a 7.3% variance between the districts.
Okay, and just for the record, because I keep hearing this over and over again, the only map that ever divided Progress Village or had part of Progress Village out of District 3 was a staff prepared map a long time ago, map A, that was never advertised and has not been part of it. So can you confirm that to be the case? Because I would like everyone to understand and know that.
Yes, I believe all 3 of the remaining options keep Progress Village as together as it was or is currently.
Thank you. And so I guess with that, we can move to board discussion at this time. And Commissioner Myers, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and to my fellow board members. As several of you have, I too have spent a great deal of time on the issues related to redistricting for 2020, certainly with particular attention to historic Black District 3. And I have listened carefully to your comments during our board meetings. As I thought through the harsh reality of gentrification in historic Black District 3, there are some facts I wish to underscore about Hillsborough County ability to provide fairness to everyone. Since percentages can be a bit deceptive, I look at the real population numbers. Reality number 1, the Black population in Hillsborough County. According to the 2010 census, only 17% of our citizens were Black. By 2020, only 16% of the citizens are Black. Of course, these are percentages and actual population counts are more telling. In 2010, 1.2 million people lived here. In 2020, it is 1.5 million. Of that, 300,000 person increase. The Black community only gained a little over 32,000 countywide. Reality number 2, the Black population in District 3, the actual population on the 2010 census, 39%, 111,734 Black people. By 2020, District 3 had 112,177 Black people. Again, based on real population numbers, we only gained 443 new Black residents
out of 32,000 new black residents to Hillsborough County. Reality number 3, this board set policies and priorities when we began this process. We targeted a 0% retrogression of minority voices in district seat. We said having a high black population in District 3 maximize the opportunity for a minority candidate to be elected. And we minimize the population deviation. And Deputy County Attorney Farris had told us that under 10% is defensible. With all that said, and absolutely no eye toward partisanship, I'm seeking to find the best way forward. We must do everything we can to minimize the net loss of the black voters in District 3 in drawing the maps. So I had discussion with staff about doing some final tweaks to Map F revised. And since we are here in this public forum, I'd like to let those impacted know where my heart and head are. I don't want to spring this on the board at the last public hearing when we vote. So Commissioner Coyne, I was thinking about a hybrid of F revised and G. I noted that you had placed Apollo Beach in District 4, and I would like to follow that lead, since I recall you saying that at our very first meeting. I also suggest we move the lines from Old Carrollwood to under Guns Highway. I also believe in doing that, we can still have an economic engine. I remember you saying that too, Commissioner Coyne, at our very first meeting, in each of the 4 districts as well. Commissioner Hagan, I suggest we move all of Temple Terrace into District 3. I have no idea about the political performance one way or the other. I'm only seeking to secure the black votes in my district. Nothing more, nothing less. Commissioner Overman, while I know you serve countywide, your heartfelt remarks related to your longtime support and advocacy for the black community are not lost on me. And I appreciate your passion and sincerely ask your support of these tweaks to Map F revised. I believe that a strong black voice on this board maximizes the opportunity to not only elect a black candidate, but also to work toward minority equity throughout the county. With your positive feedback and input tonight, and I will repeat, with your positive feedback and your input tonight, I would like to move forward with staff to produce these minor tweaks of an existing F revised and have staff to share it with you later this week. I also ask each of you to show solidarity with our Black District 3 community and join me in supporting the minor tweaks to Map F revised. I hope you all know that this work is born of my commitment to District 3. And as I remember watching the movie, and as it stated, I am fair, I am smart, I am kind, and Map F revised is the most important map to District 3. Again, I ask for your solidarity support to support Map F in District 3. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. And I see no other board comments at this time. And so seeing no other board comments, I guess at this time we will, Commissioner Hagan.
I have a question. I think it's for Mary Helen. It's more of a procedural question. I mean, based on Commissioner Meyer's comments, I wrote down what she's suggesting, but can't see it, don't quite fully grasp it. Is your understanding of her comments right now, can her map be tweaked without requiring advertising and all that stuff? Or, I mean, just kind of update us on that, or how that plays out.
Yes, Commissioner. The language in the charter that talks about an additional public hearing is there because if at the last public hearing, if there's major changes, substantial, then that would trigger it. But at this stage in the game, we have another public hearing already set. So that would be fine for her to do.
Okay, so would her changes be presented, would we receive her changes in advance of the meeting, or would it be at the meeting next week, or is that at her discretion?
I believe in advance of the 16th, and then we also have all of this information up on the website. So there's no need to re-advertise anything, but the tweaks to this map will be available for the public to see on the website.
Okay, thank you.
Then I would follow with one question. So as I understand it, the changes were to be de minimis, and I had asked about this earlier. So what would be, and I asked what the standard would be, and no answer was given because it's too hard, but after the advertising period, which we've gone through, that there could be de minimis changes. So what would be the standard of what would be de minimis or not?
Well, the advertisement that was put in the paper clearly said in bold capital letters, these are draft maps that are subject to change, so that people know, that they may be subject to change. And there's plenty of time now for the public to see a tweak to any of the maps that are made, so that they can see that in advance of the 16th.
Okay, so the next week, anyone with a map could make tweaks, and this would not be considered in
correct. It
in violation of the de minimis.
Correct.
I call it the Smith rule. But with that, let me call on Commissioner Smith.
Thank you. Commissioner Myers, I wrote down what you are calling tweaks and the changes that you want. So what I wrote down is you want to move Apollo Beach from District 1 into District 4, and you want to move a line on Carrollwood, in the Carrollwood area. I'm not sure, but I think you want to move a piece of Carrollwood from District 2 into District 1. And then I thought you said you want to move all of Temple Terrace into District 3, but it is in District 3 in your map, or is there some piece that's not there? So would you please clarify exactly what the revisions are that you are proposing to your map F revised?
Apollo Beach will go into District 1.
From where? From what?
From 4, from 1 to 4.
Like from Big Bend Road, or, well, from?
It would stop, and I can't make out this little, but when you get the revised map, you will be able to see it very clearly. It doesn't indicate on the smaller map that I have, but it's just before you get to the Sun City area. So you would take the Apollo Beach area, and it would now come into District 4.
Okay. And the other changes?
And the other changes, just up at the top of my revised map F, you see a little bit right up above Temple Terrace, the little blue area, that would all become District 3.
So north of the river, that north?
I don't know where the river is on the map. I can just tell you the little small area. So if staff want to pull it up and show it on the screen, then they can.
Up to Fletcher then, or up to yeah.
I don't have a street. I don't see Fletcher on here. My map is so small I cannot make it out.
Fletcher and the interstate, that corner above the.
It runs right along 75.
And then Carrollwood, you were making a change to as well?
Yes. And that would be right close to Gun Highway. And those are the only changes.
Okay. And then, so Mary Helen, how will people get noticed? I mean, the point of the charter rule is, like, if a big, to me, these are bigger than tweaks. To me, these are the kinds of changes that we woke up in the morning in Ruskin and found Ruskin divided. It's those sizes of communities that are being moved around here. So how does this satisfy the requirement of the charter to make sure that people see these maps in time? Isn't there a notice period that the public would have to be able to see the new map?
Right. The notice that was done in the paper had the 3 maps the board had adopted or said to go to advertisement. The notice was clear that these are subject to change. And so what we will do, and I certainly will work with Brandon in Communications to make the maps available on the website and do some reach out. I think Leona is not in the office today, but we can do that. But the advertisement that was required by the charter has been satisfied.
Is there, I mean, these seem like big pieces to be moving around, and Map F already had issues with population, whatever you call it, the disparity. I mean, what happens if this gets past 10%?
I have not seen the
Right.
tweaks to the map. It was within the 10% at F revised. So certainly before map goes out, I will look at it to make sure it's legally defensible.
Okay, and then we would have all this other data recalculated as far as the population is concerned. I would mention to the people who were concerned about retrogression that actually Map F had the lowest percentage of black people of any of the maps and had the lowest number of any of the maps. So, but I guess we'll see what the final scoring is on all those counts. Thank you.
And Commissioner Overman, you're recognized.
Thank you. And I just had similar types of questions in terms of, and I guess this question is to Commissioner Myers. So you've been able to provide the staff with the maps so that they can be published on the website for review? Because that was right now, that's all we have, right?
I work with county staff on the revised map.
Okay, and do we have?
I have not released the map yet.
Okay, no, I understand,
Yes.
I understand. And so based on providing that to them maybe tomorrow, what are we looking at in terms of time? Because we really have until what, next Tuesday?
So we have ample enough time to review the map.
Why are you so much?
You have a week to review the map.
Okay.
We vote November the 16th.
Yeah.
1 week from tomorrow, so you have enough time to review the map and come to the chamber ready to vote.
Okay, so
the
assuming
revision.
it's posted tomorrow, we will have a week.
Yes.
Okay, that was the gist of my question, is to make sure I understood that we would have it pretty soon. Because I do think it's important that we not only see what the impact is to the neighborhoods, because I think I see where you're going, and also to the calculations. I think that's going to be an important part for the community to have. So thank you very much for your suggestions.
Commissioner Smith?
Yeah, I just want to make clear, I'm very concerned about the opportunity, not only for our review, because, this is our job and we'll do our homework, certainly, but for the public to be able to know that there's a new map. We've had these 3 maps out for over a month now. And for the public to have time to know there's a new map coming, and to be made aware of that and told that by, I guess, our county staff, and not just, for everybody to understand, for the people of Temple Terrace to understand,
Right.
for the people of Apollo Beach to understand, for the people of Carrollwood to understand where they're being moved. Because it's not just District 3 that's being impacted. It's District 1 and District 4 and District 2 that are all having pieces moved in and out of them. And all those people need to be made aware that their districts are being impacted by this change at the last minute. And so I'm not sure how citizens are going to be informed of that in time to be able to take a look at this. And so I'm just going to voice that concern, and we'll see whether the public has issues with it or is able to digest this.
Commissioner Hagan.
I'm going to keep my remarks brief. I'll be honest, I'm not the least bit concerned. 20 years ago, Mary Helen will tell you, Commissioner Frank popped open a map. Midway through the meeting, public had zero notice. Okay, every single workshop meeting we've had, I've asked Mary Helen procedurally, tell us the law. Do you approve of the way this is going? Are we doing things the right way? And every single time she's come up there and said, yes. We're giving the public at least a week's notice, more than ample time. So I, for one, am not the least bit concerned. And Commissioner Myers, I do appreciate your leadership on this. Thank you.
Okay, and I'll just say I do have concerns about, having a week or less to look over a map, but basically for the public to do so, because I think there's, it was put in the charter to advertise these maps, to give people that chance to really know them and understand them a little and look at what their community is doing. And now I think many people will never get the message. I mean, we're hearing tonight from all these people that are talking about Progress Village being divided, which was a staff-generated map, which was, we got rid of a month ago. But yet we had some emails about it, as well as people making that comment tonight. So I don't think that this is enough. And I would have thought that the changes that were acceptable were de minimis, but apparently not. And there has been howling for 2 decades about Pat Frank bringing that map in at the last meeting, and is the reason that Commissioner Smith, as a citizen, worked so hard to make sure that could never happen again. So it's not as if people thought that was okay, because I've heard the story so many times with objections of a remembered moment. I don't think this gives us all that much more time with regards to that. But with that said, I guess we don't need any kind of vote or anything. And seeing no further comment, we'll just stand adjourned.